What's going on, Socialites? Ryan here, bringing you another Week 1 matchup in the Global Pokemon Society Draft League. We got the Vero Beach Volcaronas taking on the Lavender Town Gengars in a South Division matchup. Vero bringing Alakazam, Metagross, Arcanine, Porygon-Z, Regirock, and Hitmonlee going up against Lavender Town's Garchomp, Tyranitar, Gastrodon, Machamp, Armaldo, and Ampharos. Let me know who you like going into this match, and let's get into it here as we're right in the thick of things as Alex in the Lavender Town Gengars leads off with Ampharos, and Vero leads off with Hitmonlee. Couple interesting leads here. No Earthquake switch in on Lavender Town, so that looks like a good choice for Hitmonlee. Gets a big Earthquake off. Does about 50% to Ampharos. Ampharos getting up the Reflect though. That'll allow it to survive another Earthquake. Gengars thinking about what they want to do here with Ampharos. I mean, I figure if you're setting up dual screens, you just stay in, kind of let Ampharos go down. No, they do switch out though. Going into Machamp, who should be able to take this Earthquake very nicely. Hitmonlee with the Flame Orb for the Guts ability. Switching into Metagross here, gonna take that Bullet Punch very nicely. Just looking up, looks like that Ampharos is most likely max HP, max defense, assuming this is a max attack Hitmonlee. Fire Punch, big damage on the Metagross. Metagross with the Meteor Mash. Life Orb revealed. Both Pokemon close to being KO'd. Which one will get the attack off first? Metagross with a Bullet Punch. Is it enough to take down Machamp? It is, so the first KO, even through the Reflect, goes to the Vero Beach Volcarona. Metagross does seem like one of the more expendable Pokemon on Vero's side. A lot of ground and dark types in Lavender Town. And here comes Garchomp. Perhaps we could see a setup here. Metagross getting some chip off with the Bullet Punch. Will we see Rough Skin? No, it looks like Metagross just dies to its own Life Orb. And Garchomp gets the Stealth Rocks up. Vero deciding on their next action. As I go into Alakazam, Alakazam getting the Rocks dug in, which means it is not Magic Guard. So that will hinder Alakazam's potential. As I've stated before, I think that this season, especially early on, will show what teams kind of put in the investment and prepared for this season. Of course, getting hidden abilities on a lot of these Pokemon isn't that difficult. You don't need ability patches for everything. There are ways to get them pretty quickly in the game. Tyranitar takes some big damage from that Dazzling Gleam, just able to survive the Energy Ball, and looks like the payback is enough to take down Alakazam. The Reflect wears off here. Rock's doing some good damage, and we know that the Hitmonlee doesn't have Rapid Spin. If it did, Hitmonlee would be a good switch in here. Tyranitar switches out. Interesting one to conserve that for later. In comes Gastrodon. Arcanine with the burn up though, which will at least take away its fire typing against the Gastrodon. At this point, Gastrodon looks very nice into Volcarona's team. Now, we did see, if you were paying attention, as Volcaronas went through their team, that the Porygon-Z does have some tricks here. So Gastrodon goes for the Yawn. Arcanine's staying in. Gonna go with the Play Rough. Gastrodon could just recover this off. No, they go for the Earth Power. Doing some good damage. Sandstorm does end here. But Arcanine's gonna take a little nap. Gastrodon using the first turn of sleep to heal back up to full. Oh, Gastrodon switches out here. Back out into Ampharos, looking to get the screens back up again, but Arcanine does wake up with the extreme speed. Ooh, Ampharos does get the static onto Arcanine. Arcanine can go for another extreme speed. Looks kinda close. Will it be enough to pick up the KO? No, he's going for Play Rough instead. Oh, Ampharos goes for Light Screen this time. Arcanine does break through and gets the Play Rough, but oh, Ampharos able to survive that as well. Arcanine finally picks up the KO on Ampharos with the extreme speed. Now Light Screen is up. And in comes Armaldo. Will-O-Wisp might be a good play here. Try to neuter some of these offensive threats that Lavender Town has. Ooh, Armaldo is setting up here. Arcanine, though, does get the Will-O-Wisp off. So that is definitely going to help. Makes Regirock a pretty good switch in. Ooh, we see the Custap Berry as well on Arcanine. That means the next time it comes in with Stealth Rock, it will be in Custap Berry range, which could be key thanks to the paralysis here. Might be able to get another Will-O-Wisp off against, say, Garchomp. I think would be very key here. Regirock gets a nice switch in. Armaldo with the knockoff. Not doing a lot due to the burn, although getting rid of the leftovers will be nice. These Stealth Rocks will mean that Tyranitar should faint the next time it comes in. So Tyranitar might just come in to set up the Sand to help Sand Veil on Garchomp. Armaldo actually switches out, and that looks like what is going to happen here. He's going to sacrifice Tyranitar. Oh, but he doesn't get the Sandstorm up. I always forget how those kind of like interact with each other with hazards. So he just wanted to switch to get into Garchomp here. Garchomp going for the Swords Dance, but will take some nice damage from this Hammer Arm. Now I do think Earthquake is a little safer, just because I do believe Hammer Arm has 90% accuracy. Let me as well do this. So down goes Regirock. To the Earthquake. Garchomp now with the Swords Dance. So I think Arcanine could come in here and get the Custap Berry Will-O-Wisp off, perhaps. Would be a play. Let's see if this is something that Volcarona, you know, thinks about here. So yep, you do see Arcanine gets the Intimidate off. So now Garchomp only have +1. And if it goes for the Custap Berry Will-O-Wisp, could also go for Play Rough. Yeah, Play Rough would get a kill if it breaks through. They do go for the Will-O-Wisp though. There's the Custap Berry activation. Oh, but gets the full para, unfortunately. It was bound to happen. Arcanine had been breaking through every other turn before that. Vero down to the last two Pokemon, Porygon-Z and Hitmonlee. Ooh, going right for the outrage. Able to knock down Porygon. Now, Porygon sometimes will run Choice Scarf, so that is pretty fortunate for Lavender Town. That wasn't something that they kind of checked for. I think switching into Armaldo or even Gastrodon could have been pretty free there, just to check for the Choice Scarf. Going for Bullet Punch. Mach Punch would be stronger. But not able to pick up the KO anyway, and Hitmonlee should go down here to the Garchomp's Outrage. So Vero Beach takes the L to Lavender Town. Garchomp does faint actually to its Life Orb. So Lavender Town does get the win with 2 Pokemon remaining. We'll be back in a second for Game 2. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think both teams could switch up here going into Game 2? Alright, we're here in the team selection screen. Interesting. Hitmonlee with the Cobra Berry. Don't think that will come into play here. Again, the Power Herb on Porygon-Z could definitely surprise that Gastrodon. I would love to see that happen with the Solar Beam. Best of 3 match. Something that we changed this season. Typically in our singles battles, it's just a best of 1, winner take all, but who doesn't love more Pokemon battles? As it looks like Alex and the Lavender Town Gengars are ready, and Alex sends out Ampharos yet again. Vero this time, leading off with Alakazam. Alakazam without Nasty Plot. So, no Nasty Plot, no Magic Guard. The Alakazam does go for the Psychic, though. Does some nice damage on the Ampharos. Ampharos, though, does get the Light Screen up, so it will be able to take another hit. Yeah, that is a bulky Ampharos for sure. Vero going right into Regirock, and Lavender Town trying to get into their more offensive threats here. Goes into Tyranitar, perhaps to set up the rocks yet again. And, ooh, does not click the Hammer Arm, which would be 4 times effective. Although we could see Tyranitar switch out here, because Vero did reveal the Hammer Arm in the first game. Yes, they do switch out Tyranitar, so nothing really lost to Vero here as they go into Garchomp. Earthquake does connect. Not doing too much, though. Only Regirock could get back. Body press. Garchomp, of course, going to set up in front of Regirock. No reason not to. Regirock does get the Stealth Rocks up. Does have to be worried though. This Garchomp can get quite a few boosts off here. Garchomp gets its own rocks up. Regirock is trying to do some damage here. Garchomp with the Earthquake. Regirock, though, able to survive thanks to the Sturdy ability. This is where having Custap Berry on Regirock would be nice, because that would allow it to get off another attack and be able to knock out Garchomp here. But we do know that the Custap Berry is on Arcanine. Usually you'll find Custap Berry on these sturdy Pokemon to give them the guaranteed priority attack. Garchomp locking itself into the Outrage, though. It will get the KO onto Regirock. The Life Orb is gonna only allow Garchomp to get one more attack off. Metagross also seems pretty safe here. It can Bullet Punch. As it does go for the Bullet Punch. It is able to knock out Garchomp. So Garchomp getting a KO on Regirock, but not doing too much. Did get Stealth Rocks up as well. Gastrodon comes out here. Let's see, will we see the Porygon tech? I want to see it. Oh, we might get to see it, folks. In comes Porygon. Gastrodon goes for the yawn. Oh, come on, we want to see it. Don't switch out, Gastrodon. We want to see it. Don't predict the Solar Beam. What mad lad would predict the Solar Beam here? Oh no, he does switch out. No, we've been robbed. He goes into Tyranitar. Oh, we have been robbed of just an amazing opportunity there. That would have been a spectacular play. Tyranitar in the sand, so bulky. Porygon-Z does take a nap. Tyranitar with the Earthquake picks up the KO on Porygon. Man, could that spell the end here for Vero? Let's see. Arcanine comes out. Ooh, Tyranitar stays in and takes this play rough, knocking it out with the crit. Don't know if that crit mattered, but Gastrodon comes back out. As Gastrodon, quite a wall against Vero's team here. Could go for another yawn in this position. No, goes for the Scald. Alakazam takes that nicely. No burn. But the Sandstorm is buffing Alakazam with the lack of that Magic Guard ability. I think Energy Ball was revealed in Game 1. Let's see if Gastrodon makes a switch here. Yes, they do make the switch. Into Armaldo. Now without Tyranitar, there's not much of a incentive for Alakazam to not just spam Psychic in this opportunity. Armaldo could have Aqua Jet. Let's see if that's something that Armaldo would have in this position. We saw Rock Polish and X-Scissor. Maybe on a Rock Polish set you would not have Aqua Jet. We won't find out here as Alakazam does pick up the KO. I think this is going to really start breaking open positions for Alakazam. Machamp does have Bullet Punch, but its Guts isn't activated. It's all going to come down to this play, I believe. Here's the Bullet Punch. Alakazam does survive. And that should allow Alakazam to just get these last few KOs. Alakazam with the Energy Ball takes down Gastrodon. So Vero fights back in this game. Able to even it up one apiece against the Lavender Town Gengars. Our first game of the season that, or first match I should say, of the season that will go to 3 games. And Alakazam with a little mini sweep there at the end. We'll pause it here, folks, and we'll come back when the teams are getting ready for Game 3. Let me know what you thought of that match, and who do you have taking Game 3 here? Alright, getting ready for Game 3 here in this match. Vero Beach evening it up against the Lavender Town Gengars. 1 game apiece. Winner of this match gets the victory, but even just getting the game win for the losing team will put them pretty decently in the rankings. Lavender Town switching it up this time, leading off with Tyranitar, while Vero goes into Porygon. Tyranitar switches out here. Porygon going right for that Solar Beam. Interesting, switching into Machamp right away. think he could have kept Tyranitar in. That Solar Beam not doing a lot of damage. Porygon picks up the KO. That was a fast KO there. Going to Ampharos. Another try attack. Ampharos getting the Reflect off, so this Tri Attack can pick up another KO here, perhaps. Surprised how little that Solar Beam did against Machamp. And this Porygon now is just cleaning through these Pokemon. I think Tyranitar is the only resist, really, that he can go in. Well, he could also go into Armaldo. But you can just keep clicking Tri Attack here. And we do finally see Tyranitar come in, but Porygon broke through a couple decent threats there. Took care of the priority from Machamp and the defensive prowess of Gastrodon. Of course, against Tyranitar, it is going to be a little bit tougher to break through here. The payback is enough to knock down Porygon, but I feel like Porygon just did so much wall breaking there. And this really leaves a good opportunity for Vero. Now, they go into Metagross. I don't... If Meteor Mash... Oh, they end up being slower than Tyranitar. Payback doing big damage. Will Meteor Mash connect? No, that's what I was worried about. I think I would have rather gone into Hitmonlee or perhaps even Regirock to go for one of the fighting type attacks. Because now Metagross is basically, like, it has to either switch out or click Bullet Punch. It decides to do neither of those, and it's just going to die here. So I feel like Metagross just really let Porygon-Z down. Porygon-Z did some good work here, but just kind of had it deleted by that Metagross. Metagross, I think, could have been saved as more as a priority attacker with its Bullet Punch in the late game. Okay, switch out Tyranitar. Going into Ampharos here. Ampharos should get knocked out by this Play Rough if it's able to connect. Oh no. And another static from Ampharos. I suppose the Reflect is still up. And this Arcanine is kind of like a mix set. Ampharos gets the light screen up. Yeah, the Reflect does go away there. Arcanine gets the full para. It's going to allow Ampharos to get the Reflect back up. Arcanine does break through here and take Ampharos, but now both screens are up here for the Lavender Town Gengars. And they still have Garchomp in the back. Here's what they're going to switch into here. Now, alright, so they are going for the play rough here, but Garchomp goes right for the Earthquake. I was wondering if Garchomp was going to try and get greedy here and set up with Swords Dance, but it does go right for the Earthquake. Alakazam comes in. Seems to be in a pretty good spot here, actually. Garchomp does switch out into Tyranitar. Tyranitar does get the Sand up, which will break Alakazam's Focus Sash, since it does not have the Magic Guard ability. Let's see how much this Dazzling Gleam does. Will it be, no, not even close to a 2-hit KO. Alakazam with the Energy Ball. But Tyranitar with a Payback will knock out Alakazam. Regirock comes out. Now this is a little dangerous here. I think I would have preferred Hitmonlee with a Mach Punch, but we gotta remember that dual screens are still up. Which just makes it so tough for Vero. I think you gotta even go for Stone Edge here and hope to crit through it. Switching out doesn't do a lot for you, as at this point, the Gengars Garchomp can just go for Earthquake here. Oh, but they do go with the Swords Dance, so there is a chance, or more of a chance. Oh, but this time Hammer Arm's inaccuracy mixed with the Sand Veil does work in the Gengar's favor. Here's the Earthquake, getting Regirock down to sturdy. Hammer Arm connects this time. The screens do wear off here. Now, the reason I like Stone Edge here is, yes, it's resisted, but with the stab, it's still working as almost like a 90 base power move, so it's only 10 base power weaker than the other two attacks, plus you're getting that increased critical hit chance, which is kind of what you needed to break through there. And I don't think Hitmonlee will have what it takes to break through. Against these Pokemon. as it goes down to Garchomp's Earthquake, and Garchomp, with the assistance of dual screens, able to snatch Game 3, defeating the Vero Beach Volcaronas, and Lavender Town Gengars get that first match win of the season. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave the video a like if you enjoyed the battle. Make sure to leave a comment what you thought about the teams, anything that you would do differently that you would like to see these coaches do in the future. Definitely drop that down below. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And as always, stay classy, society.